All right, guys. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving holiday, a restful one, but also a productive one. Wanted to get you guys kind of focused towards when we get back on the field Monday. This is our phase 3 install. Let's get to the run real quick and go through formations first. Um, we're real excited about the depth that we have at tight end. Some real good athletic guys. So one of the things we want to do is get in 11, 12, and even 13 personnel. We'll talk about that, where we really line up against the defense and force them to cover in the box. And then what that's going to do is that's going to open up a lot of big things on the outside for our great receivers out there. So here we are in ACE, which is 12 personnel. There's no right or left. It can go either way. And but I mean, it's really no need to call right or left. The Y is to the right with the Z, and the H is to the left with the X. As you see, tight ends are off the ball, receivers are the tight ends are on the ball, the receivers are off the ball, and guys cheat to that line as much as you can, unless we got you coming in motion or something. All right. So out of this, um, our main runs will be under center, and we want to first attack A gap, and we're running crib here. Tailback straight downhill. Get the A gap as quickly as possible. I know the blocking scheme is inside zone, but you're running it like a dive, which is to force the and compress that defensive line and force them to cover A gap. Same rules apply. Let me talk about the rules again to review. Anytime we're running crib and clip, and that means every offensive lineman, if we're running to the right, your gap hand is to the right, and if there's a guy in your gap, you're stuck. Okay? So right tackle is stuck on the end or the anchor. The right guard is stuck on the tackle. The center is uncovered, so he can help with the nose. And we'll talk about some things that you guys can do here to free the guard up to run for that linebacker. We talked about it. If this guy is not really a game breaker and center feels like he can handle it, he can give the guard a me call, and that'll mean I got it, and you loop around for that Mike linebacker. And if we get a good seal here, and you come around and hit that linebacker at at the depth that he's at, and then these guys push out, running back should be able to hit that really hard. And we know what effect that's going to have on the defense. Backside, we got the same thing. You guys are doubling up to the wheel linebacker. So here again, left tackle's uncovered. He can help. Tight end's covered, so he gets help from the tackle, and y'all work up to that linebacker. Now, obviously, if these linebackers are shifted over, either way, um, we can work that differently. Also, the other thing you might see that we'll walk up, and some teams, especially Butler, may like to give us a 5-1 look, or they may walk the strong safety down and try to give us a 8-man box, which is really what I want them to do. Because if they go to an 8-man box, that means this guy has to cover the center of the field, and this guy is one-on-one. Okay, so that's where we're trying to get to. That's the reason why we're doing what we're doing. Okay. All right. Let me move forward. Clip. Okay. Using our rules again. Um, using our rules again. We have to stay stuck backside because the quarterback is not reading anything. So we have two double teams to the play side. The H and the left tackle, the left guard and the center. They're doubling up to those linebackers, and running back here again, hit a gap and hit it hard. Okay. I fully expect this guard to knock that nose over and help the center and clear that for you. Okay, but if not, if somehow they stunt, the guard will end up with him. The center will just keep rolling to that Mike linebacker. Okay, backside we've cut off. That's kind of drawn up wrong, but we have to cut off both of these guys. So we step to the gap. Okay, all right. in this case, you're not covered, but you can't help because you got a guy. So there you have it. All right. So that's our ace, and then we start to let me move down. Now we talk about outside run. Okay. On this, every offensive player on the field takes an outside step. Okay, and works to the outside gap. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get that inside hand to the outside shoulder so that we can leverage off these defensive guys. Okay. In this case, center, you can run, or here again, you can choke that off, let that guard run. And guys, understand after 3 steps, if you haven't overtaken, just continue to push these guys out and create lanes. And wherever we have a seal and wherever we have a kick, that's where that running back will end up running. It could be there, it could be here, and we don't want to go much further than that. But running back, you are reading the block on the end man on the line of scrimmage. If that guy's walked up, he's our guy. The end's there, that's our guy too. And so that's a very important block for our tackles. And here again, on the previous play, let me go back for the quarterback and look at your action after. Okay, remember, on an inside run, you continue your fake as a bootleg. Okay, carry that fake out because I'm reading that. I'm trying to see backside who's disciplined and who's not. When we run this play, is this safety? Is this safety getting nosy and taking a couple steps that way? That's all we need. Okay. So here again, you carry out your fake so I can get the read. Now let's go forward on outside zone or outside run. Your fake is a waggle, so you fake the handoff like a stretch run. Extend that ball. Let everybody in the world see that ball, and then you hand it off, and then eventually, when we get to the play action, you'll pull it back and you'll set up on this side, and we'll run a lot of floods out of 12 personnel, out of 12 and 13 personnel. Really, that'll be our main pass in these formations is flood. Okay, we'll get into some other stuff, but guys, we got to know how to run flood, and I'll talk about that in um, the second piece. Okay. All right. So now I'll skip over this real quick. Okay, now when we change that formation up, it goes from ace to deuce. Okay, deuce meaning two. So that means both our tight ends are on the same side. Okay, here's deuce right. So it's the Y, and the H is in what I call a hip, which is 2 by 2 off of the tight end. Okay, so that's hip. Now, just for future reference, that's hip is off of the tight end. King is off of the right tackle. Okay, queen is off the left tackle. Okay, so anytime there's a tight end and either the H or the Z are in hip, they're 2 by 2 off of the tight end. Okay, hip, king, queen. Okay, that's how we keep that straight. All right, and I'm sure Coach Canola and Coach Wash will work out signals for you for that. Okay, or either we'll just yell it to you, whatever. But in this formation, our goal is to force them into a 8-man box. If they try to stay too high to this formation, we'll run over here all day and all night until they get tired of it. And then eventually they'll switch to this formation. Even if they're in a 3-man odd front, they'll bring that eighth defender down into the box. And then we know that is where we like to live because now this guy has no help. All right. And if it was the other way, it would be the Z. So receivers, when you look up and you see one high, you do that thing that um, running back from Dallas does. You ready to eat, okay? Because that's what we're trying to get to. Um, you younger guys that haven't been around me long enough always understand that I never ever want to give the defense an opportunity to be balanced. Okay, we're always going to be heavy-handed to one side, and if we were in the gun, the running back would be over here. So we never want to give them a chance to look up and say, okay, well, we can be totally balanced. And if you look at the way they are right now, they're unbalanced. Okay, they have to shift into this. Otherwise, we're going to live over here and eat all day long. So let's look at our run play. Run plays out of this. Same plays. Okay, we run crop. Okay, here again. Um, this will be a work in progress because I would like to get to some crack situations. I would also like to get to pin and pull situations where everybody outside blocks down, and then we get a guard out in front. That's of course would be crop, Packer, and to the left, I think this year is going to be Lambo. Okay, so that's Packer. All right, it's the old Green Bay sweep. Okay, we do the same thing here. Okay, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but I like to show you where we're going. But first, we'll do it uh, this way to lead off on that. Okay. All right. We'll also pitch out of it. Okay, we're under center. Quarterback reverses and pitches. Uh, everybody blocks crop. I think that blocking on the last one was not correct. I think I mixed up crib and crop. But anyway, um, so here's the pitch. Everybody again working to the outside gap, and we get out in the alley. What we've seen in games before is that teams have a very tough time with run support because nobody runs this stuff. And so they see it one week, they might not be proficient. Okay. Now, here again, if they are proficient, like I said, that means that an extra guy is in the box and he's in run support. So what happens when we fake the pitch? The quarterback bootlegs and we're working something backside. Okay. And I'll talk, like I said, I'll talk about passing game, but I'd like to show you where we're leading up to. And so here we go. Here's crib. All right. Coach Kennard talked about that. We're not going to add another name to it. That'll be crib. So we keep the same blocking scheme and the same mentality. The only thing that changes on this is where on crib in the gun, I have you guys take a open open 45 step and then come when the quarterback's under center, just get downhill. Okay. If you guys want to go back and watch any YouTube video, um, I ain't gonna say that. But anyway, get downhill, hit A gap. Let's force their defense to cover A gap. Okay, so that's basically the runs. In part two, I'll go over the passes uh, for phase three. Remember, if you have any questions, give me a shout. You can go through Remind, or you can hit me up on my cell phone, text, whatever you have to do. But guys, make sure that you study. You guys have access to VidSwap. So watch the video and study along with what I'm talking about. Okay? All right, you guys have a great day. I'll see you on part two.